pilots. Go fast.
Tiger 11, Tiger 51.
It's been 85 years since the 133rd Airlift Wing became the first federally recognized Air National Guard organization on January 17, 1921. Since the beginning of the global war on terrorism, the men and women of the Minnesota Air National Guard's premier airlift wing continually prove we are not only the first, but the best. Involved in an alphabet soup of operations and inspections, the recent tempo has been challenging. News agencies report the top story of 2005 was hurricane relief efforts along the Gulf Coast. We were heavily involved. Our top story for the year was the Wing Operational Readiness Inspection. More on that later. For now, let's review other activities and events from the past 12 months. Events demonstrating how the 133rd Airlift Wing, with our C-130H-3 aircraft, provide the United States Air Force with the most capable tactical airlift platform and the finest airmen in the world. Many of us begin the year in Southwest Asia. Continuously deployed since the beginning of the war on terrorism, the wing had a smaller number of our people in the desert in 2005. A cross-section of airmen from all squadrons and flights supported Air Force missions in the desert. Professionals from Medical Group and the Air Medical Evacuation Squadron provided outstanding medical care to many sick and wounded. They found themselves in places like Al Udeid, Qatar, and Manas, Kyrgyzstan. Later in 2005, medical personnel deployed to Baghdad and Balad, Iraq. Logistics Readiness Squadron had members in Balad, Manas, and Qatar. Surface Transportation ruled the roadways while performing a new Air Force mission, convoy duty across Iraq. A couple of communication flight members welcomed the year 2005 while at Al Dhafra Air Base, UAE, where they provided computer support and combat imagery across the Central Command area of responsibility. Mission Support Flight had personnel in the desert at Balad and Baghdad at the beginning and the end of 2005. Security forces and civil engineers served in Diego Garcia. Aerial Port had members widely scattered across Southwest Asia. Maintenance served in Balad. The 210th Engineering and Installation Squadron has a long tradition of building up important military installations in the Middle East, and that continued throughout 2005. There were deployments to locations beside the desert last year, including many units in Puerto Rico, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, Morón, Spain, Kosovo, and other parts of Europe. The 208th Weather Flight went to places like Colombia and Guam, and they were also in Europe. Operations and maintenance personnel supported Operation Joint Forge in Germany for several months, where they provided tactical airlift as part of our regular commitment to the defense of the United States and our allies. From Germany, we fly throughout the theater of operations, and we do this year in and year out. We even deployed a maintenance airman to Antarctica. Back at Minneapolis-St. Paul, Operations Group and several squadrons started January drill with changes of command. Tim Casalter began his first full year as wing commander of the nation's premier airlift wing. Our Minnesota leaders, including Governor Tim Pawlenty and the Adjutant General, Major General Larry Shalato, recognized our contributions to the state and to the nation. Many of us marching in community parades or participating in other activities also felt the appreciation of our friends and neighbors. Some wing members took time to celebrate our heritage and to toast our future at a mission support flight dining out and a 210th EIS banquet that helped build unit camaraderie. A few of us participated in the Norway Troop Exchange in 2005. Along with many benefits of the event, it features biathlon training. Skiing and shooting is one of our traditions, and some wing members participate in the state biathlon team. One, Sergeant Grant Weber, competes on the national Algar team. Last year, he represented the U.S. military in competitions around the world. The wing hosted important Army and Air Guard meetings, quarterly readiness conferences, medical, legal, and a contemporary base issues conferences among them. These events provide time to network with our counterparts and to share information. By March, the 133rd Airlift Wing experienced a major transition. Wing Command Chief David Himmer retired, and he was succeeded by Chief Bruce Graham. Colonel Casalter notes how important the enlisted force is to the mission.
Each chief brings to the command chief a little bit different perspective, a little different priorities, a little different focus, which is good. It keeps the wing fresh, it keeps the issues fresh, it keeps the commanders on their toes because he points out things that are of interest to our enlisted corps.
Another important milestone for the wing in March of 2005 was aircraft Gopher 05 going to depot for repairs. Since its landing gear mishap in April 2004, crews have spent many hours getting the plane back in the air. After successful engine runs, a crew flew the plane back to Georgia, where it received final repairs and a complete safety check. We are ready to put Gopher 05 back into the busy rotation in 2006. Because of the ORI in 2005, the people in planes may not have racked up as many hours as the record-setting pace of recent years, but there were plenty of missions, including an interesting call in April where we acted as bait for an F-16 flight out of Duluth. The scenario called for our C-130 to simulate a communications problem while flying over Lake Superior. The 148th Fighter Wing launched their jets to intercept. It was an important exercise as Americans remember the events of September 11, 2001. April also brought an exercise called Gallant Trainer at Volk Field, Wisconsin. This was the first of many large-scale exercises designed to prepare us for the ORI in December. There were several trips around the country last year based upon the initial ORI plan of the 133rd Airlift Wing to link up with the 136th Airlift Wing out of Texas and the 137th Airlift Wing from Oklahoma. We presumed the ORI might be located in Gulfport, Mississippi, so that's where we based site surveys, meetings, and conferences held throughout the year. It is safe to say that most of the 133rd Airlift Wing's annual resources were poured into the ORI. Along with Gallant Trainer at Volk, we held home station exercises in June and August. These included portions of all areas on the base. Everyone either directly participated or supported the ORI preparation efforts. Happily, the Wing carved out several hours at the end of August exercise to celebrate with our annual Summerfest. That included kicking back with friends and music provided by Susie and the Stud Muffins. The 1,300 men and women of the 133rd perform their duties under the watchful eye of the local community. State leaders, including Minnesota's congressional delegation and the state legislature, are very interested in what the Wing brings to Minnesota and the nation. We had several opportunities to share with the community and very visible events. The Minnesota Twins have made it a tradition to honor the Minnesota National Guard at their home opener. We participate with honor guards and bring out our families, who are also recognized for their contribution. Staying with the pro sports teams, later in the fall, the Minnesota Vikings hosted a game where we were invited as an honor of the troops and to remember September 11th. Additionally, the Minnesota Timberwolves hosted an event with the 133rd folks. Wing members supported community events with over 5,000 hours of our time. When the public interacts with Wing members at events like Fun Days at the St. Paul Saints games, Youth Camp, the State Fair, construction projects, and dozens of others, they start to understand what makes military members so special. Other activities during the middle of 2005 include escape and evasion and water survival training, requirements that keep aircrew members sharp. Also, crews got their flying requirements done and increased their proficiency in essential areas. Night vision systems allow the Wing to deliver the goods at any time, day or night, and we continually train to do it right. The ability to provide tactical airlift anywhere in the world under any conditions provides a very valuable tool to our country's defense. Minnesota summers mean construction season and a short period of time when we can do upkeep or improvements on the Wing's campus. One of the most visible projects included modifying the front entrance to increase security and provide easier pedestrian access to the Fort Snelling Light Rail Transit Station near a front gate. Plus, it looks nice. Another addition was a brand new building for the Wing's tenant unit, the 55th Civil Support Team. Lieutenant Governor Carol Molnow and General Shelato presided in the building dedication. With their quick response capabilities for contingencies, the 55th CST is a valuable resource for Minnesota. We often serve as a showcase for the military, such as when the Crown Prince of Norway was welcomed to our base. He enjoyed a presentation from the 55th CST and Starbase. Nothing highlights to the community how valuable the National Guard can be, like our quick response to natural disasters. As summer drew to a close, the nation thought the hurricane season might be winding down. But in September, the high winds were just getting started along the Gulf Coast. Hurricanes Katrina and Rita showed the power Mother Nature can throw into our lives. The devastation resulting from these storms posed a huge challenge for so many and an opportunity for the Wing to step up and help. Our capable aircraft and crews were called to duty right away, airlifting parts and relief supplies into the New Orleans area, mostly through the Naval Air Station there. Other units, such as the Weather Flight, Airport, and Airlift Control Flight, quickly moved into the affected region. Medical personnel stayed on the front lines of the entire rescue effort, escorting survivors to safety. Security forces provided much-needed security to the region. Air crews came and went from a variety of airfields, including our ORI partner, Oklahoma City, continually shutting people, equipment, and supplies where they were needed. Just when things looked like the impact of Katrina were slowing down, Rita spun up. The Wing provided continuous forecasting support and more airlift, even taking time out from an operational readiness exercise at Volk Field to load pallets with relief supplies. An unexpected twist came when the Federal Emergency Management Agency asked states to set up hurricane survivor processing centers. At the direction of Governor Pawlenty, Minnesota set up Camp Ripley. Airmen from Public Affairs, Mission Support, Communications, and more responded, along with units from the 148th Fighter Wing and the Army National Guard. For about 2 weeks, we prepped Camp Ripley for Operation Northern Comfort, working side by side with other state agencies, the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and many other organizations. As it turned out, hurricane survivors never came through Camp Ripley. The task force commander was Major General John Trost, and he said it was still a very valuable effort.
To pull together for the good of the common cause is truly become what I think is the most important piece of this whole Operation Northern Comfort.
The impact of the hurricanes for the ORI was significant and immediate. First, the 136th Airlift Wing from Texas was so involved with Joint Task Force Katrina and Rita, they had to drop out of the 2005 ORI plan. Oklahoma City was also heavily involved in relief efforts, but they forced themselves to continue the inspection with us, with constraints like not participating in the September Wing Operational Readiness exercise with the 133rd at Volk Field. The second major change was the presumed ORI location of Gulfport was smacked by the high winds, and the new ORI location became the familiar Volk Field. Contending with northern winter weather during an ORI was new territory for both the Wings and the Inspector General team. We scrambled to make the ORI happen successfully at Volk. Back at home, Guard Family Network was busy supporting Wing families. Little kids were not tasked to do the ORI, so Guard Family Network ensured Wing children still got to go trick-or-treating at the airbase on the October drill, an event that has become a family tradition. In November, even as the Wings' hard work continued, Services Flight put on the traditional big holiday meal at the airbase. They also got a chance to show off their spiffy new uniforms. Also, somewhere during that busy drill weekend, military personnel got their mandatory annual flu shots. Ouch. Finally, December arrived with an emphasis on Burr. Near record cold temperatures and snow ensured this ORI was a very memorable event, especially for those from more southern climates. But there was no stopping us now. December 4th saw the sun rise on a beautiful cold wintry day. The Air Mobility Command Inspector General team arrived precisely on time. Wing personnel stepped up, doing what we needed to do for the next week and a half. By the time the IG team departed on December 16th, the 133rd Airlift Wing knew it had been appropriately rewarded for its professionalism and expertise. We already knew we were the best in the world. Now the rest of the world knew it too. Usually in December, we hold our annual award ceremony and review the events of the year. The change of this year of the ceremony in the following month gives us a chance to look at other December activities. Families usually join us in our December celebration as essential members of the team. This year we had a party in the dining hall during the last drill of the year, complete with food, fun, and family time. Members of the 133rd Airlift Wing joined Governor Pawlenty at the state capitol to unveil a new license plate that shows support for Minnesota's military members and their families. We also saw a retirees luncheon celebrating faithful past members of the 133rd. The local Air Force Association chapter hosted a special recognition of airmen who had served during World War II, people who have some amazing stories to tell. As we begin our 86th year as America's premier airlift wing, we can look back with pride on our contributions, from deployments to the Persian Gulf, to America's Gulf Coast, and to the IG team's checklists. We met and excelled in all of our challenges. And we stand ready to meet the challenges of the future. The operational readiness inspection and other events made us work hard, but it also led us to a higher state of preparation for whatever may lie ahead. No one knows exactly what those challenges will be, but we will answer the call of our state and our country with the finest people and airplanes in the Air National Guard, the United States Air Force, and our world, Minnesota's 133rd Airlift Wing.